The arena fell silent as the beast roared. The human walked up with snacks. The galactic coliseum stretched for kilometers in every direction, its crystalline walls reflecting the light of 3 suns through the dome overhead. Millions of beings from across the known galaxy filled the terrace seats, their chittering, growling, and harmonic vibrations creating a symphony of anticipation that had been building for cycles. Ambassador Vex-High of the Corvani Federation adjusted his ceremonial robes with 4 of his 6 arms while the remaining 2 operated the translation matrix. As the designated representative for this sector's newest species, he had the honor and burden of explaining humanity to the assembled masses. Honored beings, his voice boomed through the arena's acoustic amplifiers. Today we witness the trial of worthiness for the species known as humans. The word felt strange on his forked tongue. They seek membership in our great federation, and as per ancient tradition, they must face the devourer of Kepler 7. A collective intake of breath, or equivalent respiratory function, rippled through the crowd. The devourer had claimed the lives of representatives from 43 species over the past millennium. It stood 4 meters tall, possessed 6 legs ending in razor claws, 3 heads filled with serrated teeth and armor plating that had deflected plasma cannons. Its roar could shatter bone, and its acidic saliva could melt through hull plating. The human representative has chosen to face this trial alone, as is their right, Vex-High continued, though privately he thought it was suicide. These humans had only achieved faster-than-light travel 2 of their years ago. What could they possibly do against a creature that had bested the mighty Thoraxians? The arena floor opened with a grinding of massive gears, and the devourer emerged from the depths. Its 3 heads swiveled independently, scanning for prey, and when it spotted the single entrance where the human would emerge, all 3 heads aligned and released a roar that made the arena walls vibrate. Smaller species in the audience instinctively cowered. Even the massive Gorothans, who stood 3 meters tall and were covered in natural armor, shifted uncomfortably. The silence that followed was deafening. Then the human entrance opened. What emerged was not the power-armored warrior most had expected, nor the massive creature that might match the devourer's size. Instead, a relatively small biped walked out, standing barely 2 meters tall with no visible natural armor or weapons. The being wore simple blue fabric coverings and carried what appeared to be a container of some sort. "That's it?" whispered Counselor Theta 9 of the Mechanist Collective to her neighbor. "That's what destroyed the Zerani invasion fleet?" The human, the crowd learned later that his designation was Marcus Chen, walked across the arena floor with an odd, rhythmic gait. As he approached the center, the devourer's roar erupted again, even louder than before. The sound waves were so intense that several pieces of arena equipment malfunctioned. Marcus stopped walking and tilted his head slightly as if listening. Then he did something that would be discussed in xenobiological circles for decades to come. He opened his container and pulled out what appeared to be small, individually wrapped food items. Is he eating?" gasped Administrator Krill of the Hive Worlds. Marcus was indeed eating. As the devourer's roar continued, he unwrapped what looked like a small rectangular object and bit into it. His facial expression suggested he found it pleasant. He chewed methodically, seemingly unaffected by the ear-splitting sound, then swallowed and took another bite. The devourer, perhaps confused by this unprecedented response, stopped roaring. Its 3 heads cocked at different angles, studying the small figure before it. Marcus finished his first snack and pulled out another. This one appeared different in color and texture. He unwrapped it with the same casual precision and took a bite. A slight upward curve appeared at the corners of his mouth, an expression the xenobiologist would later learn indicated satisfaction. The devourer took a tentative step forward, its massive claws clicking against the arena floor. Marcus looked up from his snack and made eye contact with the center head. For a moment, the 2 creatures regarded each other across the space between them. Then Marcus did something that caused half the audience to question their translation. "Matrices." He held out one of his snacks toward the devourer. "You look hungry," Marcus said, his voice carrying clearly in the sudden silence. "These are protein bars, pretty good ones too. Made from something called quinoa and cricket flour, the devourer's 3 heads conferred with each other in a series of low growls and clicking sounds. Ambassador Vexhai frantically consulted his datapad, trying to find any record of similar behavior in the trial archives. There was none. Marcus took another step closer, still holding out the food item. Look, I know this is supposed to be a fight, but you're probably just doing your job, right? I mean, they keep you down there in the dark, bring you up here when they need you to test people. That's gotta be stressful. The left head of the devourer sniffed audibly. The creature's massive form shifted, lowering slightly as if crouching. The center head extended forward, nostrils flaring. That's it, Marcus encouraged, taking another small step. It's okay. I've got plenty. He shook the container, producing a soft rattling sound. I always pack extra snacks. You never know when you might get stuck somewhere for hours. The devourer's center head extended further, now only 2 meters from Marcus. The human remained perfectly still as the massive creature investigated the offered food item with delicate sniffs. Finally, with surprising gentleness for a creature of its size, the devourer used the tip of its smallest teeth to take the protein bar from Marcus's hand. The crunch that followed was audible throughout the arena. All 3 heads immediately perked up, and the creature made a sound that the translation matrices struggled with before settling on something approximating pleased rumbling. Marcus grinned, another expression that would require extensive cultural briefings to explain to other species. Good, right? I've got 12 more. He opened his container wider, showing the contents to the devourer. What do you say we call this trial complete and just have lunch instead? The devourer's response was to carefully lower all 3 heads to the ground in what appeared unmistakably to be a request for more food. As Marcus began distributing protein bars to the galaxy's most feared trial beast, Ambassador Vexhai slowly set down his ceremonial staff and activated his personal communicator. Galactic Council, he said, his voice carrying a note of awe that he didn't bother to suppress. I am pleased to recommend immediate full membership for the human species. They have passed their trial by methods we had never considered possible. In the arena below, Marcus was explaining the nutritional benefits of various human snack foods to an increasingly attentive audience of one very large, very satisfied creature that had not killed anyone in over an hour, a new personal record. The galaxy, Vexhai realized, was about to become a much more interesting place.